My family taunted me relentlessly for years. "Focus on your appearance, not computers," my mom would say. I sold my software for $2.8 million and cut them off when they came pleading for financial help. My parents mocked my tech career, then tried to lean on me as their safety net when my sister's life unraveled. I'm a 27-year-old woman, still processing it all. I grew up in a typical Ohio suburb where every lawn is pristine and a Target is just 7 minutes away. You know the place, where the biggest drama is someone painting their door a bold color. My dad sells insurance, all khakis and cruel dad jokes. My mom teaches English at the local high school, which was a nightmare when she was my teacher, but more on that later. Then there's my sister, Lily, 29, who looks like she stepped out of a shampoo ad. Glossy blonde hair, green eyes, perfect nose, the whole package. Me, I got, well, everything else picture young me. Frizzy dark hair, a victim of Ohio's humidity, looking like I'd been electrocuted. Dad's bushy brows, practically a unibrow. Mom's round face, but rounder. And a body type that had my pediatrician check the husky box on school forms in the early 2000s. Yes, that was a real thing. Imagine being 8 and learning your body is labeled husky. The teasing started early, really early. My first clear memory of being the ugly one was at Lily's 7th birthday party when I was 5. Mom made the mistake of dressing us in matching outfits. During photos, she kept trying to fix me. "Sweetie, pull in your cheeks a bit. No, that's worse. Just stand behind your sister." That became her go-to for family photos for the next 2 decades. Hide the less attractive kid. Dad's cruelty was different, cloaked in humor. He'd introduce us to his coworkers as "my daughter Lily and my linebacker," pausing for laughs. People chuckled because what else do you do when someone mocks their own kid? I can still hear him saying, "At least she'll save us money on prom dresses." Joke's on you, Dad. I went to prom alone in a Walmart dress, but I went. Mom's bullying was more constructive. She put me on diets at 9, not eat more veggies diets, but full-on Weight Watchers meetings where I was the only kid. Lily's lunch was standard kid fare, sandwiches, chips, Hostess cakes. Mine, celery and low-fat cheese, because apparently childhood obesity was worse than giving your kid an eating disorder. The worst part wasn't even the overt stuff. It was the constant comparison to Lily. Everything was a contest, and I was losing before it began. Lily got a B+ and praise for her cheerleading. I'd get an A, and here, if you weren't always on that computer, maybe it'd be an A. Family reunions were their own torture. Our extended family caught on quickly, thanks to my parents' cues. Aunt Linda once tried to praise my art at Thanksgiving when I was 12, but before I could respond, Mom cut in with, "Yes, she's creative. Lily, tell them about your winter concert solo." The message was clear. My achievements weren't just lesser. They weren't worth mentioning. Computers became my refuge. I spent more time coding where looks didn't matter. Code either works or it doesn't. No one tells code to contour its interface to look thinner. By middle school, I had a routine. Skip breakfast to avoid comments, spend lunch in the computer lab, and hide in my room until dinner. Lily would barge in occasionally, usually for math help or to practice her cheer routines. Those were our best moments. When our parents weren't around, she was almost kind. Almost. The real kicker? I wasn't even that odd-looking. Looking back at old photos when I wasn't hidden behind a plant, I was just average. A bit chubby, sure, but nothing justified the criticism. When you're told you're ugly daily by those supposed to love you unconditionally, it sticks. I remember 8th grade, getting invited to a makeover-themed birthday party, the kind popular in the early 2000s. Mom was thrilled, like someone would finally fix me. She bought me new clothes for it. At the party, the mom doing makeovers said, "Honey, you have such pretty eyes. Why hide them behind those bangs?" I burst into tears because in 13 years, no one in my family had called anything about me pretty. That's what people don't get about this dynamic. It's not just being the ugly sister. It's being treated as less valuable because of it. Like you have to overcompensate for not being conventionally attractive by being smarter, kinder, or more successful. And even then, it's never enough. High school was a twisted mess. Having Mom as my junior year English teacher was its own kind of torment. She'd use me as a negative example in class. "If you write your essay like my name, you'll never get into a good college." Real professional Mom. Worse, she blended school critiques with her usual appearance jabs at home. If you didn't slouch in the back row trying to hide, maybe you'd participate more. Or, "The other teachers say you're always in that oversized hoodie. No wonder Jason didn't ask you to homecoming." Jason was Lily's friend's brother, and Mom thought he was my only shot at a date. Spoiler, he took Lily's friend instead. Lily, a senior when I was a sophomore, lived every teen movie cliché. Homecoming queen, dating the quarterback Eric, who becomes relevant later, crowned at every dance while I worked coat check. Being the ugly sister in high school meant everyone felt entitled to mock you. Classmates would say, "Are you really Lily's sister? She's so..." and trail off, as if not finishing the sentence made it less cruel. I survived by getting to class early for back corner seats, working on extra credit, really coding HTML and CSS during lunch, and wearing noise-canceling headphones to scream, "Don't talk to me." The computer lab was my sanctuary. Mr. Rodriguez, the real MVP, saw something in me beyond Lily's weird sister. He taught me JavaScript after school, saying I had a knack for logical thinking. The first time anyone valued my mind over my looks. But my parents ruined that too. At parent-teacher night, when Mr. Rodriguez praised my coding potential, Mom said, "That's nice, but shouldn't she focus on subjects that'll help her find a husband?" Lily met Eric in AP Biology. The ultimate high school hell, Lily's graduation. I sat in the bleachers with my parents, watching her give her valedictorian speech about embracing individuality and self-love. The same girl who once suggested I wear a paper bag for her sweet 16 photos because I ruined the aesthetic. During post-ceremony photos, where I was, as usual, tucked in the back, I overheard Mom tell her friends. At least one of them turned out right. "We're still hoping my name grows into her features." Grows into my features? I was 16, pretty sure my features were set. That summer, I checked out of family life. I got a job at a computer repair shop in the mall, working every shift possible, and saved money in a secret account. Pro tip, never let toxic parents near your bank account. I learned to build and fix computers, a skill that paid off later. The best part, my parents were thrilled I was in retail, thinking I was accepting my place. Mom said, "It's good you're learning a trade, honey. Not everyone can be as academic as Lily." Meanwhile, I was teaching myself Python, and dreaming of escape senior year was pure survival. Lily was off at a fancy private college, chasing her trophy wife dreams, mission accomplished briefly. You'd think things would improve. Nope, it was all, Lily's thriving in college, Lily's in a sorority, Lily's dating a business major. I dove into coding, skipping school events, even prom, despite Mom's panic that it was my last chance to feel like a princess. I spent every spare moment working or coding. Mr. Rodriguez helped me apply for scholarships behind my parents' backs, knowing they'd only support applications to Lily's school. When I got a full-ride scholarship to State for computer science, they said, "That's nice, but are you sure? Lily says the girls at State don't care about their looks. You already struggle with that." They had no clue their ugly daughter was about to soar. High school graduation was predictably awful. While other parents took proud photos, mine explained to relatives why I chose State over Lily's elite college. Some people aren't cut out for competitive environments. The graduation party was worse. Mom posted a tribute to Lily's perfect graduation next to a photo of me mid-sneeze. Who saves a photo like that? But here's where it gets good. That secret bank account? Mall job savings covered a deposit on a studio apartment near campus. The day after graduation, while my parents were at a country club brunch with Lily, I packed my Honda Civic with everything that mattered. When you've been told you take up too much space for 18 years, your life fits in a Civic. They didn't know I'd moved out until my aunt asked about my finally escaped Facebook post. Mom called panicked, not about me, but about appearances. "It looks like we pushed you out." "Maybe you did, Mom. College felt strange, good strange. No one knew me as Lily's ugly sister. No one's mom compared me to their perfect daughter. I could just be me. Holidays were still a battleground. Mom's digs. The computer science stress is getting to you. Your face is breaking out. Dad asked if I'd met any nice business majors, as if coding was a phase and I just needed a husband. Lily, home on breaks, offered backhanded compliments. "You're so brave for not caring about your looks anymore," as if jeans and sweatshirts meant I'd let myself go. But away from toxic people, their words lost power. By junior year, I had a 4.0 GPA, a paid tech internship, and led 3 coding projects. My advisor was talking grad school. Then came the game changer. I started a side hustle building custom gaming PCs for students. A Twitch streamer client shouted me out in a stream, and orders exploded. I had a wait list and quit my part-time job. My parents saw this on Facebook note to self, fixed privacy settings, and said, "If you can't be pretty, at least you're useful. Mom, and maybe you'll meet a boy who needs his computer fixed." Dad, Now, the gaming PCs weren't even the best part. My obsession with game physics, how water flows, cloth ripples, materials break, took over. I'd pause games to study their physics engines. After college, I landed an entry-level job at a mid-sized software firm doing basic back-end work. My parents called it my little computer hobby, while Lily lived her trophy wife life with Eric in a McMansion. But I had a side project, fixing mobile game physics engines, which either drained batteries or looked fake. I found a middle ground. For 6 months, I lived on ramen and energy drinks, coding until 3 a.m. in a tiny apartment filled with whiteboards and physics notes. An iPad on my wall ran constant simulations. Neighbors probably thought I was unhinged. Then, a breakthrough. I developed a way to optimize physics calculations for mobile devices, predicting likely outcomes to cut processing power by 60%. Games could have console-quality physics without killing your phone. I posted a demo on Twitter for fun, and it went viral overnight. My phone blew up with notifications. Coders wanted to test it. Major game companies emailed me. I thought they were spam at first. Suddenly, I'm on Zoom with industry pros calling my work a game changer. In my ratty MIT hoodie, with my cat attacking my headphones, I'm trying to act professional. A company, let's call it Game Corp, flew me to their HQ. I spent the business class flight panicking about sitting correctly. In their fancy boardroom, senior devs with decades of experience took notes on my explanation. Imposter syndrome screamed they'd see through me, but they didn't. They offered to buy my engine for $2.8 million after taxes and fees. I cried in the meeting. A VP admitted she cried at her first big break, too. Negotiations took 3 months. My lawyer, Maria, explained contracts like I was 5 and saved me from bad deals. On a rainy Tuesday, I signed the papers and checked my bank account. I had to sit on the floor. Those zeros were real. My cat stared like I was dying. First, I paid off my student loans in 1 click, better than any high. Second, I bought a modest 3-bedroom house in a nice area with a real office and standing desk. I didn't tell my family right away, partly to savor it, partly on Maria's and my financial advisor's advice. But gaming sites published stories about the deal, and a cousin shared one on Facebook. Then the calls started, so many calls. Mom went from weekly guilt trips to daily calls, her tone flipping from "your face is only for a mother's love" to "I always knew you were talented." She planned a fancy Cheesecake Factory family dinner, offering to book it herself. A big deal for someone who once made me pay for my own birthday meal. My therapist, Dr. Lisa, urged boundaries, but I agreed to the dinner. Big mistake. Walking in was like entering a parallel universe. Mom wore her special blazer, Dad a tie, last seen at Lily's wedding, and Lily with Eric looked like a Real Housewives auditionee. They were overly nice. Mom complimented my unchanged hair. Dad asked about my computer business. Lily called me sister for the first time since we were kids. Then the truth spilled. Lily and Eric's life was crumbling. Eric's blockchain smoothie startup tanked. They were 3 months behind on their McMansion mortgage. And Lily sold her Range Rover for a Honda CR-V. Mom and Dad had sunk their retirement savings into Eric's flop, trusting his online MBA over a financial advisor. They didn't ask for money outright, too subtle for them. Mom preached family helps family. Dad hinted their mortgage was affordable for tech money, and Lily pitched Eric's new AI dog shoe idea. Yes, really. When I didn't offer cash, their mask slipped. Mom's voice got that teenage me shrinking edge. Dad guilt-tripped about their sacrifices, and Lily cried about her kids possibly attending public school. When the bill came, they stared at me, expecting Miss Tech money to pay. I looked at Mom and said, "I thought you were treating since you invited me. Family takes care of family, right?" Silence. Eric choked on his water. Dad turned purple. Mom's fake smile froze. Lily tried, "Sis, you're doing so well, it'd mean a lot." I dropped the bomb. You know what would have meant a lot? Not being called ugly daily, not being an embarrassment for 18 years, not having my sister pretend she didn't know me at school. I paid my exact half of the bill, thanked my calculator app, and left. Lily whispered to Mom, "I told you we should have softened her up more." Texts flooded in before I reached my car. Mom's, "How dare you shame us?" Dad's, "Your mom's crying." Lily's, "You're selfish, my kids will suffer." Aunt Emma's was best. "Proud of you, kiddo. Wine and bad movies at my place." After the dinner disaster, my family went nuclear. Dozens of calls, hundreds of texts, even distant relatives from 2010 preaching family duty. The pattern. Week 1, you're ungrateful. Week 2, you're hurting Lily's kids. Week 3, apologize and pay, we'll forgive you. Week 4, remember when we bought your third-grade supplies. Each guilt trip weakened their hold. The final straw. Mom and Lily showed up uninvited at my house, crying on my porch about loving me and wanting to guide my finances. The money I earned while they called me a failure. I texted from inside. My only financial decision is keeping my money from people who treated me like garbage for 27 years. Goodbye. I blocked them everywhere. Phone, email, social media, even LinkedIn. Lily and Eric sold their McMansion for a regular suburban house. Eric's now pitching Web3 baby food, and Lily's selling essential oils on Facebook. Mom and Dad delayed retirement. Dad's still at the insurance office, and Mom stopped using me as a bad example in class. Progress, I guess. Meanwhile, I'm thriving. Cutting out toxic family is great for mental health. Who knew? Less stress eating, clearer skin, and I like my reflection now. I started a tech consulting firm for indie game studios, doing well and helping others succeed. My accounts are locked down, thanks to my lawyer. Best of all, I met Paul, not his real name, a game developer who calls me beautiful. Not beautiful for a techie, just beautiful. I'm starting to believe him. Aunt Emma, my hero, is the only family with my new address, joining me for wine and bad movie nights. Family isn't blood, it's who cares about you. I keep recordings of my family's insults in a secure cloud folder, not to use, but to remind me how far I've come. When imposter syndrome hits, I listen and think, look what you did despite them. Thanks to everyone following this saga. To anyone with toxic family, you don't have to burn yourself to keep them warm. Sometimes the ugly duckling doesn't just become a swan. She becomes a badass swan who doesn't need approval from ducks who treated her poorly. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.